At this event, there are 6 other cars in the CAM PAX class. As usual, every one of them has a lot more horsepower than my 2004 Mustang V6. But I'm not worried about horsepower today, I'm worried about torque. The event is being held at a small mall parking lot, and to make the course as long as possible, the designers have included a turnaround, a 180-degree turn, bordered by a wall of cones just waiting to add seconds to my time. Turnarounds are slow elements, and slow elements require torque to dig out of. My 3.8 has about 220 pound-feet of torque at 2,750 RPM. But in a turnaround, the RPMs can drop way below 2,000, and even with an aluminum flywheel, it takes a little time to get back into the power. So that lightweight engine that makes the car really nimble also makes tackling turnarounds tough. Why not shift into first gear? Well, the T5 transmission is not a fan of downshifting into first at speed. You'd have to slow down even more to get the car to downshift, costing you any time you'd make up being in first gear. The combination of a tricky course and tough competition means I have to be smart about how I attack the elements. Let's take a look at the element I'm most concerned about. You can see the course is heading downhill into the turnaround. The turnaround is off camber, and once you're through it, you have to go around the right side of a cone and uphill. Every part of this element is working against a heavy car without a lot of torque. Here's what the turnaround looks like. As you saw in the video, it's pretty slow, and there are a lot of cones to hit. Finding any speed through this element is determined by my line. If I enter tight to the center cones, I'll exit wide and hit cones in the wall. Or I'll have to slow down to a crawl to keep from pushing wide. If I enter wide, I can exit tight on the center cones, clear the outside wall, and be in great position to attack the cone immediately after the turnaround. This line allows me to maintain more speed and stay penalty-free. It also creates a longer straightaway into the next element, allowing for more acceleration. But, as I found out on run 1, even the fast way through put me below 2,000 RPM coming out of the turnaround. At the starting line, all I'm thinking about is that turnaround. I have a novice in the car with me, and I'm talking her through the run as I drive. Trying to get nice and tight on the gas, using the grip, what little grip I have. All the way hard in here. Brake a little bit, cut back, brake a little bit, cut up. 37.726 plus 1. I probably should have thought about the first cone after the starting line because I clipped it making the first turn. More importantly, I was now certain there was no way my car was going to make up a ton of time in that turnaround, so I had to try to go faster everywhere else. If torque is my weakness, handling is my strength. I dropped my air pressure to 28 psi and started looking for time in the slaloms and sweepers. .464. A clean run, but slower. A lot slower. I was expecting more grip with 28 psi, but there's a lot of oil in the pavement of a mall parking lot, and it felt greasy out there. So I went down to 26 psi for run 3. .602. A nice improvement, but I was still over a second behind the Corvette in first place. Even worse, a 2018 Camaro SS1LE was beating me by 37 thousandths of a second. I had one run left to make something happen. One run to catch two cars that have twice as much torque as I do. I knew if I nailed the line in the turnaround and increased my duration of acceleration in the slaloms and sweepers, I'd get faster. But I also knew my competition would get faster too. I stayed at 26 psi for my last run and upped my aggression. .132, about half a second faster. I wish I had one more run to try for a better time, but I was happy that I didn't let the tough turnaround tank my performance. And how exactly did I perform? Second place, just under 1 second behind the Corvette. But I did manage to beat the Camaro SS1LE, which is almost as good as a win in my book. Almost. Every car has a weakness. Every now and then, a course is going to expose that weakness. If there's an element that challenges your car and costs you time, find other areas on the course where the strengths of your setup can make speed. That doesn't mean you can blow off the tough element. You still have to find the fastest way to get your car through it. But don't ever let one element keep you from going after your competition.